Hello, and how's everyone doing today? Welcome to the channel. If you're new, if you're a returning viewer, I'm glad to have you back. And welcome to another episode of Resident Evil 9. In the last episode, we found the RPD. And we did a little exploring. We went upstairs, we checked the library, we checked the the STARS office, lots and lots of stuff. Um, we're not done the RPD yet. We do have some things that we still need to do. Um, as well as I want to play the music for you guys. Because I don't know if you guys heard it or not in the last episode. Um, the main hall music in 9 for the RPD is the original music, but it's twisted and distorted in such a way that it feels lost to time. Um, and then when we're done listening to that, just to add to the feelings, I guess you could say, I have the original music as well, classic pack that plays the music from all of Resident Evil 2. Well, not all of Resident Evil 2. It does the outside area, the starting. It does the main hall, and a few other things that I can't say right now. So anyway, let's get into that. Let's do that. So I'll turn the music up all the way, and I'll just walk around for a few minutes and let you guys hear. Alrighty, let's go and bring this back down, and we're gonna leave this. Now, the cool part that I do want to get into, and I'll probably leave on, is the menu sound effects for Resident Evil 2, as you can hear. Really cool stuff. Now, the really cool thing is when I click that, it actually does the Resident Evil title from the remake of Resident Evil 2, the Resident Evil. And all you're just hearing in your head, 2. Doesn't say 2, but, it's the same voice clip.
Resident Evil.
All right. Cool stuff. All right. So there is some things that I do want to show before we go. Continuing on, there are some stuff that we need to do still. So we're gonna run down here. We're gonna go down this way. And if you guys remember, this zombie guy from the remake of 2, he was a bigger zombie. Obviously, this is a different zombie, but, you know, in the remake of 2, there was a bigger zombie who was banging on the machine. This is a throwback to that zombie. Also, hopefully he'll pop up. No? Okay. If you're quick enough, you can actually run into, what's his name? The tofu guy from Resident Evil 2, original and remake. You can actually run into him. He hides behind a window and he pops up. He's hard to find though. Okay, so let's climb up here. There are keys in here. Jojo. Now, technically, this is the end of the puzzle. But we have the key already. So, let's open up this. And this Jojo is apparently a reference to JoJo Bizarre Adventure. It's an old Japanese anime. This is something that goes all the way back to 1998's Resident Evil 2. As well, like this JoJo locker was in the remake. There's a JoJo locker in the original Resident Evil 2. The cool thing about this locker, though, is one of the things here are Raccoon City Zoo admission tickets. Now, you wouldn't think anything of it. You just think, okay, cool tickets. But the Raccoon City Zoo was actually a level featured in Outbreak number 2, I believe it was. So pretty cool, little small reference. We also get a Stars emblem charm. It's a charm for automatic guns, increases the firepower, but it makes it way less accurate. Really cool stuff. And probably the best thing is, if you look closely, Resident Evil 1, the original Resident Evil 1, not the remake, the original 96, with the original black Resident Evil 1996 disc. The console here is a Sega system, so it's the Sega version of Resident Evil 1, which is really, really cool. If we crouch down, you can actually see a Street Fighter, an old Street Fighter poster. Really cool stuff, interesting stuff. So we're not done with the Easter eggs yet. There's still one more. But for that, we need to go upstairs. Let's go this way and see if we can run into him again. No? He's not going to show up? That sucks. I don't know how to trigger the tofu guy. I'm not too sure. Oh, there he is. He disappeared. At least we got to see him for a couple of seconds. That was cool. Okay, let's move on. That was cool. I've seen somebody able to damage him too. If you shoot him, you can actually damage him, and he actually loses chunks of himself, just like when you use him in the 2 remake. There's a, what do you call it? A tofu mode in that one too, where he actually takes damage and looks like someone's eating him. Fun fact: the original tofu mode, he goes from from white to pink to red, and then he dies. Okay, so if you remember from last episode, medicine benefits of herbs and all that. Lots of people took this book out, as well as Wesker as well. So if you open this up, we have a picture of Rebecca. Now, the interesting thing about this picture is that this was used in the remake, I believe. It's her Resident Evil Zero um, model, the character model, really fun stuff. And you turn it, Rising Rookie Rebecca. The reason why this is so important is in the last episode when I had to go microphone quiet for a bit there. You use the three R's to unlock the chest thing to get the glasses, to get these. Limitless bullet penetration and increases firepower of the last bolt in the cylinder. Now, these glasses are Wesker's from, I believe, it's either the remake of 4 or Resident Evil 5. One of the two. I want to say Resident Evil 5 because that's what the arms kind of look like it, but I could be wrong. But yeah, just an interesting throwback. I thought it was really cool to have that because this picture was in the original Resident Evil 2 as well as the remake, and now they brought it back for this, which was pretty cool. Okay, so now that we are done all the references, we're done all of that, let's continue on to the opposite side. Alright, we get to go here. Still has all the blood and everything. Oh, man. What I'd like to know is who put that down. Because Leon clearly put that down, or pulled it up, in Resident Evil 2. Unless the Shockwave knocked it down, or the BSAA when they came here, unless they closed it. Who knows? Anyway, let's take a walk down here. First thing to note is the water is all dried up. Oh, I heard a voice. It sounds like Wesker again. Grace. What the heck? Dead BSAA guys? Did Wesker kill the BSAA guys? Okay, can we go in here? No. You need to understand. Okay. What's going on? Oh, we can't go in the washroom. Another dead BSAA guy. I wonder if it was, Wesker who killed them. Because in the earlier video feed, we see them. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll just have to keep playing and see, I guess.
Covert military units from every country on Earth come to Raccoon City for one purpose. To find Elpis.
What is Elpis?
The power to upset the military balance of the world. The last virus, created by Spencer. Designed to control human consciousness.
Mind control?
They couldn't let it be stolen. So they launched the missile strike to hide it.
To hide a virus? Why do something so extreme?
Extreme? Is it? When the president tried to investigate, they had him assassinated. And you are the key to retrieving Elpis.
Emily.
In a way. But not the girl you met. So many attempts. So many failures. Such a waste.
What do you mean?
Copies. Crafted to duplicate you. All useless. all scrapped. They each have their own sad story.
Okay, so this is 8 years before the outbreak of the city.
Doctor, we can't contain them.
Sedate them now! Are you kidding me? Get out of my way!
Hey, are you awake? What? Where did everybody go?
Okay, look around the orphanage. So this is the same orphanage that was in Resident Evil 2 Remake, if you guys remember that. February 1990. Yeah, so to give a little bit of backstory, if you guys do not remember the orphanage here, in Resident Evil 2 Remake, which obviously takes place in 1998, what's his name? Chief Irons brings Sherry to the orphanage so that he could somehow get the G virus or something, using her pendant. So this is the same place, but it's just, 8 years before the outbreak.
Stay away. Stay away! Get back! Don't come any closer! No. No, get back! Get back!
Hey! What are you doing?
Well, that was a big mistake. You shouldn't have called out. Hide from the children. Okay.
What was that?
So right now we're playing as a little girl named Chloe. Okay, so now we can crawl out. Alright, so I guess we have to watch out for those little girls.
Someone help me.
Now, the only way for this to work meaning like, oh, we can't sedate them, we can't do this, we can't do that, and these, infected children and stuff, right? The only way for this to work is, I guess they don't really explain it. Again,
He's not.
the writing in this it's a good game, but sometimes they don't explain things very well. Um, the only way for this part to make sense from a continuality, however you want to say it, perspective, for this to lead into like 8 years later to Resident Evil 2, or like, within the next couple of years kind of thing. There's a note in Resident Evil 2 remake here in the orphanage that states that the scientists and stuff closed down the I'm gonna pause this for a second. They closed down the orphanage because they are quote unquote renovating, and they also quote unquote sent the children to a different orphanage. But basically, what they had to do was they went in and they killed everybody. They killed all um, the test subjects, which were the children, unfortunately. So they wiped them all out, and I guess they started fresh. So I'm guessing that the children that they, wiped out, that they killed, would have had to be these guys up here, like the children that we're seeing now. That's the only way that this would work. I mean, in my opinion, that's the only way it would work. There's another thing that doesn't really make any sense either, but I can't really say much right now. Well, there's two... No, let's see here. There's one, two... There's two things that don't make sense. But I can't really say anything right now. Okay, so something that I learned is you don't have to wait for them. They'll go up the stairs. They won't see you, so you can just leave. We're going to come down here. You guys remember me playing as Sherry running down these hallways? Then you got these two guys. Now, usually when you run down the hall here and go to the door and come back, most of the time they're gone. We'll just have to see. I don't know what triggers them to go away, but usually that's what works for me. Sounds like they're still there. Yeah, they're still there. Okay, I think they're gone now. Yeah, they're gone now. Okay. Now, if you remember, in the Resident Evil 2, right, all these shelves and stuff, I think, were moved. And you come around here, and there's like a I think it's a pool table or something. I could be wrong. It's either a pool table or some sort of big table that has Catherine Warren laying on it, which is the mayor's daughter. Okay, let's see where we are for time. We're looking at 25 minutes. So we'll finish up what we're doing here, and then I guess it'll be the end of the episode, pretty much. This episode went by pretty quickly. Alright, I gotta do this. Alright, now we go back and hide. I thought it automatically triggered when you picked up the key. Okay, so now we can sneak out of here. Oh, they see me. I didn't know that they actually looked and saw. Interesting. Okay, so the part that I was talking about that makes no sense. Well, there's technically two parts that don't make sense. So if you guys remember, we come down here with Claire in Resident Evil 2. You know, we run down here. We find Sherry on the other side of that, fence there, because there's supposed to be an elevator of some sorts down there. But when we look, bye-bye, doop, downstairs you go. As you can see, this fence goes all the way across, which in Resident Evil 2, it doesn't. There's a bunch of boxes here that, again, also were not there. Again, this is 8 years before, the Resident Evil 2, so anywhere between 90 and 98, they could have, blocked this all off. They could have done some renovations. They could have done some changes and stuff, but you'll see why some things don't make sense. So let's go down here. Remember, this whole area is not even hinted at in Resident Evil 2. Again, that doorway could have been blocked off, could have been sealed up, but yeah. And then, let's see, we open this up. Now, I really like this personally. I think this area is probably going to be one of my favorites, and it's a very short area, but it feels very, very, very classic Resident Evil, especially like uh, Zero and Code Veronica and all that, where they have all these places that it looks very, very, very old. You know, especially Zero, it has the church and stuff. So I like just the way this looks. I think it's really cool. Um, Another thing that I really, really like, which is really cool. Watch this. Look at that. The stone doors open, reveal an umbrella logo, and then yeah, it looks so cool. This whole area, this whole part up here and everything, it does not make any sense at all. Um, but this area looks really cool. But you'll see what I mean in a second. I'll explain after this part is done. Okay, so let's see what is in here. Well, there's some sort of note. Name of deceased: Charlotte, age 7, 7 years 2 months, female, January 14th, 1990. Discarded due to volatile symptoms. So I wonder if she was very similar to the red-eyed ones that we seen upstairs. And she died, this year, taking place in this flashback thing. So it would have been so it's February, so January. So yeah, I don't think we can open any more. I think that's the only one that you can open. And we drop down onto a conveniently placed mattress. Yeah, that's very convenient. Garbage can. What else is back here? Oh, there's some of those. I wonder if those are empty too. Okay, let's go. We got a fire poker. Alright, let's go. Oh, they made it downstairs. Oh, geez. Alright, so we gotta run away. Run away from the children. Okay, so as you can see, we are in a secret lab. Now, this place is called the Ark. This is the main lab area, in this game. Now, this doesn't make any sense at all. Because really, really think about it. We were in the orphanage, and you got to think outside the orphanage. When you look around, there's no buildings, right? It's just the orphanage by itself. And there's a couple buildings in the background and whatever. But, nearby, it's just that. And it's, fenced in by a, brick fence, right? Excuse me, sorry for the yawning. So you go down a ladder. So you go down into the basement, right? And then, you go down, blah, blah, blah. And then you climb up this ladder, which would probably take us up to the same height as the orphanage. In order for this to even remotely make sense, geographically wise, is this ARC building, or whatever facility, would have to be above ground, either attached to or beside the orphanage. Just realistically, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't. And there's going to be something else that will even more throw this off later on in the series, that I can't really, talk about right now. But you guys will see exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, the locations and where they are and everything, this makes zero sense. This technically should not be possible. This is one of my biggest writing issues with Resident Evil 9 is, location placement and all that. So yeah. But anyway, enough of my complaining. Let's continue on. Series 60 results. Through the Series 60 possess recombinant DNA, I don't know what that means. Increasing the volume of Spencer's injected plasma did not result in successful memory transfer. Mental abnormalities were developed. We will perform the next medical procedure and progress to the final phase. However, after adjusting the viral load in the blood of Series 70 subject, Chloe, that's who we're playing as right now, improved signs of stability were observed. We will continue to monitor her progress. Okay. Alright, let's see if there's any more notes to read. Looks like there's one down here. Okay. New researcher's notebook. Today was unbelievable. I somehow got invited to the renowned Oswell E. Spencer's lab. I heard rumors about the place, but to think ARC has been underneath me this entire time. Yeah, underneath doesn't make any sense, Mr. Researcher Guide. For this to work, this entire building has to be above ground. But anyway, I'm not going to keep going on about that. Has been underneath me this whole time. I was given a quick tour of the attached orphanage, too. The children there really creeped me out. They all have nasty surgical scars across their heads, and if you meet their gaze, they'll greet you with this unsettling giggle. Apparently they are used for human experiments. Excuse me again, I do apologize. Apparently they are used for human experiments. The whole thing gives me goosebumps. To have built a place like this, Spencer must have been more unhinged than any of us imagined. Sensational. The prospect of being able to freely experiment on those kids sends shivers of anticipation throughout my entire body. It's so exciting. But for now, I'll start making my rounds at the orphanage tonight. It seems like the newbie always gets stuck with the boring jobs. Hopefully I can wrap up the tedious bits quickly so I can prepare for the real fun tomorrow. Alright, that guy's kind of crazy. Alright, so let's go over here. Okay, and it looks like that the ARC was watching all of the children, as you can see. Alright, let's... Oh, wait, hold on. There's one more thing we want to look at here. April 15th, 1987, Mr. Spencer visits. So as you can see, that's Spencer, and all those girls are children from this orphanage. And they all looked exactly the same. I wonder why. Maybe I'll answer. Our answer will be answered. Our question will be answered right here.
Are those babies?
Yes, yes, they are. These are all of the clones that look exactly like Chloe and Emily. They have been cloning over and over and over and over again the same person since the 1980s. Even all the way up now to 2026. Yep, there's the babies. And there we go.
Chloe?
Is that how I...
I've got her! Get over here, now!
She's showing symptoms too.
We need to get rid of her.
They weren't able to recreate Spencer's key. But now we have the original. We have you. You can unlock Elpis at Ark. That's where we'll go.
So, what? I was made?
Correct.
So it really was all my fault.
What was?
That mom was murdered, and oh God, when she turned into that thing.
What's done is done. You need to focus on the future.
Was she even really my mother?
It's time to embrace your destiny.
Grace! What the?
Mr. Kennedy, I had a feeling you'd make an appearance. Sorry, but I don't have time to spare.
Oh shit, it's a tyrant.
Have fun.
Ooh, and it's wearing the coat from the original Resident Evil 2. I love that. Oh, this is so good.
I remember that too. Sherry, wasn't there an orphanage around here?
Yes, there was. Why?
I'm gonna do some digging.
I just sent you the coordinates.
Okay, so let's take a look-see at our time. Ooh, yeah, we're at 44 minutes. Okay. So we gotta quickly do this and save it up as soon as possible. This episode's pretty long.
I don't have time to deal with this.
Oh, and if you remember, that right there, that is part of the helicopter that crashed.
Give me a goddamn break.
Everything all right, Leon?
Yeah. I'm good.
So, why'd you ask about the orphanage?
They're taking Grace to Ark. The orphanage is the entrance.
What is Ark?
Not sure. But apparently it's someplace important.
Okay, so we are all done the RPD. We are going to save this up now. And we're going to end this episode. A little long, I do apologize. 'Cause you can't save when you're playing as Chloe. Anyways, if you enjoyed this episode, if you liked seeing, well, not, I mean, I guess liked seeing the RPD again. Obviously, you know, it's sad to see it in the ruins as it is. But if it was a nice, you know, comeback, if you enjoyed that, let me know. Let me know what you think about seeing another Tyrant again in its proper jacket this time. Its proper power limiter jacket. Unlike in Resident Evil 2 Remake, and it's just a leather coat. You know, Grace obviously got taken away by the Wesker Xeno guy. Whoever he is. I mean, again, we don't know. Maybe this guy just looks and sounds like exactly like Wesker and his name's Xeno. Maybe it's the real Albert Wesker using another name. We don't know. But if you enjoyed this episode, feel free to leave a like, a comment, a subscribe, all that fun kind of stuff. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Resident Evil 9.